What's up, guys, and welcome to the Poker Rajas podcast. My name is Richard. Super stoked to have you guys on the show. Today, we have with us India's first professional female poker player. She has been cashing and winning tournaments across the world. She's representing India and inspiring the youth of the nation to follow their passion and their dreams. Please welcome Muskan Sethi. Hi, Muskan. How are you?
Hi, Richard. Thanks for the introduction. That was really, really sweet of you. It was nice to hear
Yeah, I thought
all that about, not quite expected. And, it's like a teamwork, I must say.
I think you underestimate how big you are in poker in the country. So I'm just going to make sure that I keep reminding you that you are Muskan Sethi and not just anyone else. So before we go ahead, I'd like to give a shout out to Muskan's new vlog. So go and check it out. It's a video that she's made on her experience in Vegas. So please go and check it out. It's in the description. You can obviously go and check it out after that. Subscribe to her YouTube channel and support her vlog because it's really awesome. I loved it. And we'll obviously talk about it eventually. Muskan, why don't we get into the podcast by the first question being, tell us a little more about yourself. You haven't been really out there. So tell us a little bit about your life, your childhood, and eventually tell us about how you got into poker.
Okay, so I'm basically from New Delhi and I grew up here and I went to modern school. So I was always very interested in computers or say commerce, but I obviously never ever had heard I was never ever going to take poker. And then basically how I got into poker was when my dad used to wake up every at night. He used to especially be up at night watching this poker thing, like a poker like a telecast of I think WPT or I don't know what, like long time back used to come on some Z channel or something. Okay, so my dad used to be up and I was always very curious, what is he doing, why, what does he do for these 2 hours and all. He always he really wants to do it and everything, and he's always watching it and he's quietly so engrossed and he's so focused and he respects these guys. And then obviously this is a poker thing, and that time I really didn't know, but I just knew that okay, it's something that my dad thinks is really cool. And my parents don't play poker or cards or anything, and it was just randomly growing up and finding cards, enjoying cards around Diwali or with friends. And then I started playing on Facebook eventually when I was, I think in 2012 I started playing on Facebook. You remember Zenga Poker, and it was just so I used to be very, very possessive about my image. There used to be people who used to especially come and play with me. I had my whole poker gang, and I didn't even know that there's actually real poker also. There can be real money also. I used to just be happy with those chips only. So yeah, that was it. And then I so I basically what happened, a couple of my friends, they messed around with one of that Facebook account. And I got really pissed off and I'm like, what did you do? And this and that. And then my husband, who was back then my boyfriend, he's like, okay, wait, you haven't even played on this site. You have to play on Pokerstars. I'm like, okay, cool. So they make a random ID for me and everything. And I just started playing, and in a few weeks or something, that time I used to just play free roll stuff. So that my first depositors free roll was the Shark Cage free roll that I played. So yeah.
Wow. So oh my God. So this is a great transition to Shark Cage. But before that, was there someone really inspiring you to get into poker? Was there a moment where you saw someone was it just your dad, or was there someone else who actually made you feel okay, this is cool, I want to try it? Was there someone else that inspired you?
Yeah, so I used to just I started watching Poker After Dark just when I discovered poker, right? When I started playing on Pokerstars, and then when I came back, this is even before Shark Cage, just when I used to just randomly play and everything. So I used to see Phil Ivey and Daniel Negreanu and all these guys and get really inspired. Then I obviously saw Liburi and other female poker players, and I'm like, okay, there are female poker players also. And then it was just imagine something completely new topic for me, and I'm just exploring it and I'm enjoying it, because I used to enjoy playing cards even when I was a child. Even my parents used to be shocked. They were like, why are you doing this? And then their friends used to play, so I used to sneak sneak in, like, imagine there's a family dinner going on, and then there's a cards party, and it's a Diwali party or something, right? And like I'll just go sit with the elders and like, just start learning from them, and I used to just really enjoy it. So that was the only form of cards that I knew, and it was never about getting serious or like studying or getting a coach, and like how poker is, right? So then yeah, that's what happened. And literally when I realized that there are people out there who are making a living from this is not just a hobby but a really respected profession, a sport, or whatever you can say, like that. I mean, it's like a really, like, you have to be really smart to do this. You have to work really hard to do this. It's not like just a joke. They're like these consistent number of people who, like, consistent faces you'll see who are doing well. And these guys are the pros who work hard on their game. These are the guys who, put in hours and hours, and they understand the variance, they understand the highs, lows, they keep their composure, and that's what inspired me when I saw our Indian community, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only one who plays poker. There are like so many out here who wanna, really wanna, like, who wanna love the game. They're just exploring the game, enjoying the game. That's what.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So obviously you were fascinated by the game. You fell in love with it. You followed your dreams. So eventually Shark Cage happened. So tell us a little more about Shark Cage. So for those of you who don't know, Shark Cage was a show sponsored by Pokerstars, and it was about a common person playing poker with the best players in the world, and there was a league sort of a system, and there was $1 million up top. So Muskan was, I think, is one of the only Indians to be on the show, and you can obviously check out that episode. It's in the description, so you go ahead and check out that episode after this. But Muskan, tell us about your experience. You played with Liv Buri and Timex. I mean, that is insane.
Yeah, and can I please tell you, I had no idea I'm going to be playing with these guys. I just had like I told you, when I deposited, I got a free ticket. I got 10 chances, okay, to play this tournament, and it was a free roll. And there was like a small little ad down there that, do you have it in you to beat the pros or something? And I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Just open it. I'm like an amateur, like a amateur player, right? Just having fun. Like, come on, this is like Facebook for me, the same thing. And I see this tournament has like 20,000 people registered, okay? And I'm like, okay, now what do I have to do? I have to come top 20 in this. And this is like slower than Sunday Millions also. And this tournament was going to go on for like 12 hours, and top 20 places get $75, and they get like the email. That's it. They don't tell you how to do it, go about it, or whatever. So now I'm like sitting the whole night grinding, and like that time I think I was like very like going through like this low phase in life. Like I was like a little like sad and everything. I lost my mom and everything. So I wanted to do something. I just wanted to keep my mind busy. So I was like I'm like, okay, playing all these small tournaments and everything. So like similarly I played this free roll also, right? So now I come top 20 somehow. I can't even tell you. I came like, it was like when 20 people were left, everything froze, okay? And then everyone went all in, and they were like, okay, that's it. I was so excited to win $75. I was like, oh wow, now I'm gonna like, move up the stakes. And like, I used to play micro with stakes and everything. So, and then I get an email, which I saw like next day, which said like, you have to make an audition video and send it. So I made an audition video, and it was like me playing poker in my house and literally tilting on my laptop, and like a very natural sort of a video. And I just sent it, and then basically that same year, I went for my first World Series of Poker to Vegas, and I cashed in the 1500 baseline event. So I came 55th in that, and like I still remember, like now this is like I'm falling in love with the game, right? I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And even that 1500 I won from a sit and go, the a $150 when you get like a one table satellite. So I had done all these things, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then I got an email that, are you serious about it or not? We are trying to call you on your Indian number, and like, do you want to be a part of this or not? You have a there's a quiz and you have to give a quiz and all that. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And then I speak to them in Vegas, and then they took a quiz sort of a thing. They asked me like series of questions and hands, then what would you do in this situation, that situation. And then they chose like 4 people out of all the entries. And luckily it was me. And that time I just felt like I really didn't know what's going on. I was like, okay. And then, the whole $1 million thing and all, I was like, okay, if I just win this, I'll just give it all to charity. I was just feeling so blessed. I was like, if this is even happening to me, like, I just want this to happen to me. And then you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to show the world what, you should do if you win $1 million. And it was just like, I never looked at it as a poker player. I looked at it as just a normal person who's just leading a normal life. And suddenly they're, playing poker. It's like crazy. And I was finding my calling all this while, all these years. And like finally, I think this is over to you.
Sorry, I think there was some disturbance in the video. So what I wanted to speak about was that you bluffed Timex. Like, that is ridiculous, because I have I watch a lot of YouTube as well. I follow poker tournaments, poker players, and I have never seen Timex tilt so bad. Like, how did you do that? Like, you put him on tilt.
No, listen, it was, trust me, okay, so basically, first few hands, I mean, those hands weren't shown or anything, but like, I played really bad, okay? I had re-raised my aces and kings like so bad that everyone folded to me and all those things. I was making a lot of mistakes, but I did know the fundamentals. I did know like what I'm doing and just a little bit, okay? So now I had to, like, do you remember when that whole hand happened when I had 9-7 and when I had Jack 9 and yeah, and Timex had what hand did he have?
I think he had some sort of a
Ace king.
hand.
No, he had ace
10, I think. Ace 10.
Ace 10. Yeah. So basically now in this hand, I had mentally prepared myself before the hand even started that I'm gonna bluff this guy. Okay, so now when on the turn he called me, I was just like, like a little scared. You get it? Like, I didn't know what's going on. Like, he's calling me and like maybe he has it. On the river, when I hit the trips, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then I bet really big, and then obviously he didn't call. So that hand he got away. So right after that, I was like, okay, I was like, shit, I didn't, play that well, or, I just wanted to get back at him, like, somehow. And also, it was just like, before one night before the telecast, they told me who I'm going to play with. Actually, like, couple of hours before. Like, imagine if my thing is early in the morning, they told me late at night that you're going to be playing with Liburi, Mike McDonald, and all these names they took, and I'm like, oh my God. And when I used to play with, like, that time, even as an amateur, I used to play, like, I knew these few people. I want to give a shout out to Karan Radia and Arjun Pasicha, Zahid Bhatia, and even, like, Aditya Agarwal, like, how we, like, we used to just keep, like, he has helped me out so much. So, like, I was telling these guys that, oh my God, I'm going to be playing these guys. So they were all so scared of Timex, and even I was scared of Timex.
I think I can't hear you. Is it just me, or?
See, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
Sorry.
So yeah, it was like, so yeah, it was just actually fun. And on the river, basically what happened was, I wish I can go back and play every hand again now, like the knowledge I have as a poker player. Back then, I was just like an amateur player, and I really didn't know like how to go about it, but I tried my best, to be honest. Like, Actually that was like my biggest challenge, that in poker I didn't have the proper guidance. Like I didn't really like, if for example, if like say I was born in like any other like country and I was like, you know, it would have been a normal profession and heard and known about a poker player, right? And in India it's something so new, and like it was just it's and also that makes it so exciting, like that, you know, like we as Indians, like we are able to like start all of this, and we are able to actually like enjoy the game and get into it and get it in our country and set examples and all of that. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And also the fact that I mean, first of all, like I completely love the fact that Timex completely tilted, which is fantastic. Like there was such an amazing moment to watch, and you came so close. Like you pretty much out of the six players, it was just you and I forget his name, the rugby player. So
Yeah,
y'all were
right.
heads up, and he got so lucky. Like so the thing is, the weird thing is that I know you're gonna lose, right? Because I've watched it before. But every time I watch that video, I always, for some reason, I feel like this time she's gonna win, because that was such a great moment for you. Coming from very little poker knowledge, living a dream, going through this amazing match and getting heads up, and then having such a major suck out at the end. Like, how did that moment transpire for you?
So I was just numb this whole while. Like, firstly, when I reached Barcelona, I was just zapped. I was like, oh my God, how beautiful is this place? There's a beach and there's like, everything you love in one city. And it was just so beautiful. I can't tell you, like, just getting to Barcelona for the first time and seeing everything. It was just so amazing. I remember going, like, the first time I entered a casino, like a tournament series, because there was EPT going on that time. So I mean, I went to the office and I was like asking them questions that, what do you want me to do? What do I have to do? I was just so scared. I had no idea at all. And there's this lady, Frances. She's basically the producer at Pokerstars. And she's like the sweetest lady I think I've ever met. And she was like sort of a guiding figure for me then. She was like, don't worry, you will be fine. And I exactly know how you feel right now. You're really nervous and everything, but don't worry, like you'll just get through it, and just be calm. And like, so for example, when they told me I'm going to play, I was getting a heart attack and everything. So they were like, relax, relax, okay, and who I look up to is going to like, that is like my dream tournament, and like I was just so sad and everything. And then they were like, listen, just do your best. And so basically when I reached heads up, I went to the loo. I was like, I need to go to the fresh rooms, just 5 minutes. They were like, okay, cool, let's just do a quick emergency break. And I went to the loo and I started jumping and screaming in the restroom alone. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I was like, what's going on? And that time I realized, I was like, oh shit. And then like, I went and I played the heads up. And I'm so silly, yeah? Like, I mean, obviously if I go back in time, like if I could go back in time, I would like, shove that hand pre-flop, looking at the stack sizes and whatever, like, we both were, like I should have played the hand a little differently or whatever, right? But back then I was like, oh, let me trap him. It's just the first hand of the heads up, and I was just thinking different, and but I really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy that I actually, like, imagine even if I would have won that round and then say I would have missed the finals, right? I would have felt more bad, like even more. I mean, I'm still tilting about that, but imagine how much I would have tilted if I would have gone to the finals and skipped it. And I'm happy that I didn't make it, because I really want to learn a lot. Like, when I just even started off in poker, I just started off very fearless. And then, I mean, honestly, that was the best. Like, that's the time I really enjoyed poker and I had a lot of fun. And now I'm like working really hard and I'm like studying. I still enjoy it a lot. Like, I love it. But at that time, I was just fearless. And for me, poker was like, just, oh, I can do it. And I just didn't understand variance and stuff. Now I understand variance. I understand everything, that, I'm not results oriented at all. And imagine if I would have gotten success so soon, like I wouldn't have ever worked on my game. I would have had this attitude that, I'm like a born natural poker player, which
Yeah, I
nobody
completely
is.
agree. I completely agree. Like people who achieve success very soon, like they don't feel like they need to work really hard, going forward. So that is definitely a very valid point. So moving on, I want to speak about your Vegas trip. So you have been going to Vegas for quite some time. I think it's your sixth trip to Vegas this year. And so tell us about this whole experience, because Vegas is the mecca of poker. Like every poker player dreams to go to Vegas. So you've been there a couple of times. Tell us your experience about Vegas.
So, I mean, so Vegas for me was just like, I still remember I used to tell my mom also when I was like a kid that I'm going to go to Vegas one day, I'm going to do this, that. And my mom used to just laugh, okay, and be like, I used to have all these crazy stories in my head because of all these movies, thanks to, all, like all the movies and stuff we watch. So, I mean, that was the most pretty looking city, come on, in movies, right? All lights and so pretty and, I mean, like all that. So, I used to dream about it. And when I started going for WSOP and everything, like the first time I went, I just went to get a feel. I wanted to play a very small things. I didn't really want to play the big racing events. I just wanted to go and I mean, I never wanted to be a professional poker player also, right? So I just wanted to go see, like, check it out, what it is. But I didn't do anything but play poker there. And I only like started playing these small tournaments or whatever. Like I was just doing poker, and I just started getting more and more involved and more and more. And getting there every time, like till up until 5 years, I've done Vegas so differently, and this year I've done it so differently. Like up until 5 years, I never had a plan. I was just like, okay, I'll just go see. Like I used to, make some money online and think that okay, I've saved up, or like I'm going to take. I used to use this whatever money I win online, take it there, or play cash game a little bit and then take it there. But then later I realized, like this year I realized not there. I mean, I changed everything about it. There was bankroll management, there was coaching, there was everything. There was a routine. I had everything I used to do earlier. I did like completely opposite of what I did this year. And even though the result is like, say, like I'm not saying I won a tournament this time, but I feel so much better. I'm so much clearer in my head. And like I used to, every time come back, I still didn't know whether I want to do it next year or not. Like, now I have everything jotted down and this. So for example, so I wanted to tell you about, say, someone who's never been to Vegas. So for that, basically, it's my advice that you look at all the schedules when they come out, and you just plan out. You need to have a bankroll, and you have to work really hard. Don't take the money that you really need to use, in your, say, you have to pay your bills or things that are committed, things that are for your security, things that are the funds that really matter. You don't have to use that. You have to just use money that you made out of poker, and have like a decided budget that I want to do this. Bring out the schedules, plan it out, and then go through your own game also. Work on your game before you even get to Vegas, and then when you get there, just enjoy, play, start small, play small tournaments. If you do well, you yourself will be encouraged to play bigger stuff, and you'll just do it. And I've really enjoyed all these years. Whenever I go, all these pros and whoever, like say Liburi and Aditya Agrawal, he's so helpful. He's so sweet. You need anything, he's like there, there to help. If you have any questions, like I'll ask him about earlier. Now I can think about the pain I've given him. I used to irritate him with my bad beat stories and just trouble him and just be like, Ari, this happened, that happened, and now I know okay, it's all part of the game, and come on, you have to just study and relax. I mean, these mistakes are what make you a better poker player, because you can go through them and understand more about sports, different sports. So, yeah.
Right, and also you ran pretty deep in some of the events. This WSOP, I think you finished 39th in the 1500, and also made some deep runs in some Venetian tournaments. Tell us what was your this trip like?
So this trip, before I went, even last summer, before the main event even started, I had made a promise that if I do well in the side events, I'm going to play the main event. So I didn't do well in the side events. And I didn't play the main event, and I just left Vegas with a broken heart. And then I made a promise to myself that next year, I'm not going to do this. I want to really, if it matters to me so much, if this is something I want to do, then I really, really want to make sure that I have a plan and I do it right. So I got myself a coach. I got in touch with Grace and Nicholas, who's from Florida, but we work on Skype. He's really, patient with people, with his students, and he works around your time zone and everything. So I got into we started doing my hand histories, and this whole new world opened. I realized that I have to be a student for life, and I just have to really, really study and work on my game, and that there's nothing in my hands than just working hard and working on my game. So that's what happened, and I worked on that. Then I obviously was in touch with Elliot Rowe. I was working with him personally. I worked on my mindset, and I worked on problems, different issues, mind issues, also about focusing. Now we've already done with my mind issues is that now we've reached a point that we can actually focus on stuff. We can focus on the tournaments. We can focus on there was so much there's always how it is when you play poker. There's so many other things say your family or say anything that you're doing. For you to succeed in poker, you have to be balancing your whole life properly. You have to strike a balance. So I strike a balance. I worked really hard, played online, and then made a bankroll, sold some action on this Facebook group IPPA, and that gave me more motivation. And then I went to Vegas.
That's super. When the funny thing is that not a lot of people know how important mental coaching is. The fact that you've actually given time to it, I mean, it tells us how seriously you take poker. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what goes on in mental coaching, so people who might not know about mental coaching might get a different perspective on it?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of people have a lot of people tilt. A lot of people have a lot of people have bankroll issues. A lot of people are not able to do well in their thing or whatever it is. Or some people are excellent and they just want to get more focused. They want to have that more. They want to add more power to themselves. So mindset coaching is really important. So why I say with me, my biggest challenges were actually mindset. So basically, when I started off my career, like I told you, I started off fearless. And when I was on the table facing all big pros, I got into such hands where I was owned by them. I was I felt destroyed. I was like, what? I don't even know this much. How could I, how come this didn't cross my mind? How come that didn't cross my mind? That means I'm not doing my study well. I'm not working on my game, or there's something definitely wrong about it, right? So with mindset coaching, the best thing is that the first thing that your coach, say Elliot Rowe, talks to you about is all these things that, you have to be fearless and you have to let go of all the things that happened to you on the table. You have to forget it. And you have to you have to keep your emotions aside and you have to keep your actions aside. You have to have a balance of everything, and you have to and also he helps you to do with say for example, you have some other issues that are troubling you on the table. So maybe dealing with confidence issues, bankroll issues, and he really tells you so for example, when I spoke to him last year, and I told him that, this really means a lot to me, WSOP, or I want to keep playing poker. I don't want to miss next year. But I obviously can, I want to just keep doing it, but I don't want to be a losing player. I want to be happy. And do you think I should take a break or, quit for a while? So he just said that, take a break, just relax for a while. And don't be how much volume you put in everything. Just relax and just why don't you take a step back and just study on your game. And trust me, now I study on my game more than I actually play. I hardly play a tournament because I'm so busy just getting so much knowledge and just breaking down hands and realizing that why didn't I ever think of this? Or, and even my coach says that, you're doing everything right, but do you even know? When my poker coach met me, he's like, oh my God, you're doing everything right. He saw my hand history. He's like, fine, you're doing everything right, but you don't know why you're doing it, right? You have to know why you're doing it. You just have the instinct, you just have the intuition, but you need to know how this works. And that is something that, that mindset coaching brought in my life. And then obviously your lifestyle, say, say doing yoga or doing anything for your body for 1 hour, getting some exercise, or just having something nice to do, something to look forward to go out. I mean, it's amazing. You'll be surprised like how fresh and how amazing you feel when your session starts, because your everything else is in place. And my problem was I was focusing on poker too much. I was like zoomed in, and then like that's what mindset coaching really helps you with.
Yeah, so that's the thing, when you like really start getting good at poker and you start playing, sometimes poker consumes you. Yeah, you get so into the game, and the results matter so much, and the results actually dictate how you feel about yourself, which I recently found out with a mental coaching session as well. That what I was doing was my results actually dictated how I felt about like mentally at that point. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned it perfectly fine. I think you covered everything. Mental coaching is definitely very important. How you feel about your game really makes a huge difference. So yeah, thank you for that. Moving on, I actually forgot to ask you something. So when you're at Vegas, uh, you obviously are partying. Vegas is like obviously a party hub. So do you like party with the other Indian pros, or do you go to nightclubs? Like, what do you do?
Okay. This is so funny because I mean I knew you were gonna ask me this, because you know that I have never been to a single nightclub, or I haven't partied even once in Vegas. And this is so funny because it is like, I swear, like, okay, so every time I go to Vegas, I'm like, this time I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I always make plans, but I just end up playing poker. I keep playing poker, and when I go and this time also, or say even before, I always have to wake up really early. So just say the tournament starts at 11 o'clock, you have to wake up at like 8 o'clock, go and work out, do yoga for an hour. Then I used to try and swim for some time. If I can't swim, then I would come back and do meditation, and then then you have breakfast, then you get going for Rio, then you go and then you sit down. Just before you sit down, so Elliot Rowe also has like this app where you can listen to his audio tapes. So you can listen to like 8-minute audio tapes, or like 12-minute or whatever. There are different ones. So you can just like listen to it, and it helps you focus just before you go to and gets you ready. So I would just, that's how the day starts. And if I would bust, I would just be so depressed, and then go back to my room, and then, go through all the hands with whichever Indian pro or whoever, whichever of my friend who's knocked out, just excited that, oh, this happened, that happened, please tell me. Like, it's just, but then it's a learning experience. It's a lot of fun. And I really like playing poker is just like, funny, just having fun. And
That's
it's just
awesome.
always
That's awesome.
also, yeah.
Yeah, so moving on, I wanted to speak to you about your vlog. I think it is fantastic. It's one of the best vlogs I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that. It's really awesome. So tell us why you made this vlog, and like how much work went into it.
Yeah, so I mean, I always wanted to, even like with me and Aditya Agarwal, we decided to start a Twitch channel a long time back. And I mean, I decided to start it with him. Like, he was going to be my first guest, and we were going to do some hand cheese together and this and that. But like that day, the server didn't work, and I don't know what all happened, and it was just like a sort of a disaster sort of a thing. And then I was told that don't try and do it from India, and if you ever go, like say if you're in London or somewhere, then do it from there. So I was like, okay, cool. So every time I go, all my girlfriends back home in Delhi, they are always like, what do you do there? What are you always doing? And then, I know you've been partying. They're like, no, we have no idea what you do for like two months. And like, please get us like videos and stuff, or like put it on Snapchat, or do this, do that. So I was like, so I used to do that in my earlier trips. I used to just keep putting up stories, or like individually keep sending my friends all these videos. So this time I was like, okay, I just took a GoPro and I started recording every random thing and my normal life, my day-to-day routine and all of that. I started recording, and then it turned into many videos, and then pile of videos. And then I came back to Delhi, And then I was going through the videos, and then I came up with this name, and I was like, Memoirs of a Baby Shark is a good name. And then, so it's more like a V diary, because, a blog has to be like instant. I mean, I should have done the blog while I was there. And I couldn't, and I was really, really busy doing other things. And when I come back, I was so busy settling back, after 2 months you come back, you have to really like come back. And just when I came back, my coaching started again. So it's like that same routine has started again of getting myself mindset coaching plus poker coaching plus like, training myself, like doing some sort of fitness activities. So all that has just started and the routine is back.
Wow, but like the amount of editing and the amount of work you put into the video is like it's highly commendable, and I really wanted to give you that because I'm sure you must have spent a bunch of hours just figuring out what to put in and what not to put in, because you can see the work that is put into the video. So hats off to that. If any of the viewers want to check out the video, it's in the description. You can go and check out the link. You can subscribe to Muskan's YouTube channel as well. Moving on, I want to speak about all your trips. You always go for these tournaments. You're with a lot of other Indians who are professionals who tour for poker. So tell us more about them and your experience with them. Obviously, I have to absolutely give a shout out to Aditya, Sushant, and Nipun Java for making India proud at the World Series of Poker this year. So shout out to Sushant and Nipun. So tell us your experience with everyone else.
It's been amazing, and these are the people who inspire me so much, and each one of them, like, they inspire me in some way or the other. When I started my journey with Adda 52, I mean, it's a great company. Trust me, I learned so much with them, and it was just such an amazing experience. And while then I met Aditya, Sushant, and Amit Jain, Kunal Patni. Alongside, I was like, Dhaval, Shravan, everyone, Danish, Jaswin, Akimal, and I knew Shanky and say Raghav Bansal. I used to meet at my other friend Vedant's house. So I knew all these people, and in different walks of my life, they all entered my life and they taught me something. So when we were in Adda 52 together, all of us, that time I never used to, now I ask sushi questions, because now, we're constantly, always in touch and everything. So he inspires me a lot, actually, because he is someone who knows how to bounce back. He knows the ups, downs of poker. He knows how big poker is. He do it. Like, he has confidence, which is amazing. So then Aditya Agarwal, who's always there to help, so sweet, he's just amazing, and also patient. When you ask him something, a poker question, he'll come with any general anything. He's the best guy to talk to. So guys, you really inspire me, and whenever I do Vegas, always show around, and I'm always taking advice. Whatever I do, I just run through them.
Superb. That's awesome. So now that you mentioned Adda 52, you were a sponsored pro with Adda 52. How did that whole thing happen? Because that was like a interesting time ago. You got a pro deal with them, and we became a sponsored pro. So how did that whole transition happen? Like, how did they approach you, and how did that whole thing work out?
Yeah, so I think right after coming back from Shark Cage and doing well in that 1500 tournament at WSOP, there was Rupal Bansal, who is a sports journalist, and she is like the most amazing lady ever. Okay, so she found me, and she was going to she did my interview for online Poker News, which is now taken over by Adda. So that was earlier her baby, and she was the one to form it. So she formed the whole online poker thing and everything. So she approached me, and then she introduced me to Adda 52 owners, Anuj Gupta is such an, I mean, visionary man. Like what all he's going to do for poker in India, it's amazing. And so yeah, it was then they asked me how do I feel about doing this professionally, and there was not a single woman who was a professional poker player at that time, like doing it professionally. And they told us that we are launching India's first poker team. So I was a little scared about, like, say, elders or, I mean, not my parents, like, I mean, my dad is very supportive, or my brother, my sister, everyone is really supportive. But I was just scared of the general reaction of people that, oh, she plays cards. Because, I did hear those things, not from them, but I hear, like, if some girl who plays poker or, does, like, what they say about, like, women who play cards, or, like, they just look at it in such a bad way in India. It's just so bad. Like, it will make you feel so bad. Not now, but then, like, when I had to take a call. So I was, like, so scared. And then I did it. It was, like, an amazing journey. And learned a lot. And it's all because of Rupal Bansal who made it happen.
Superb, superb. That definitely was like the first pro team to actually come in. So it was a very big moment for poker, I think, and you obviously were part of that. So I mean, I think you're like part of the poker boom in some form or the other. Like you're a major. You've played a major role in poker becoming what it is in India. So hats off to you, and you should pat yourself on the back for that. So moving on. So now that you mentioned about the fact that you were a woman and you were scared about how society and people will react to the fact that you're professionally playing cards. So why don't we speak about women in poker? Like obviously today a lot of women are there, but it's still a very small number. So how do you feel about that? And also tell us about, like, was it difficult for you to become a poker player playing with men at the table, because the majority of the time you're going to be sitting with eight other dudes, so eight dudes. So how is that intimidating to you?
No, not at all, actually. I mean, I'm so happy when I see other female poker players, say Maria or Nikki, then there's Mandira, and there are even other, like, when I started playing poker, you won't believe it. I did have, like, some girls approach me, and they were telling me that even they play poker, and they don't tell their, like their family doesn't know. And I'm not sure if I can take the name here, because she told me that, like, her parents don't know about it. And I know you know who you are, and I told you to keep playing poker, and I know that she's still playing poker. So I'm so happy. I'm so glad that she did that. And I even told her, I said, why don't you tell your parents, like, that, tell your family that, you play poker, and it's not a bad thing, and it's not something that, to be ashamed of, and just go for it, and, change it. And and even when I asked Liv Burry, for example, or when I asked Anna Marquez, that how is it to be a female poker player, I asked all these women, how is it? So they told me that, it's like a really poker is a very unforgiving sport in general. Like, if it has to be, you have to be mentally prepared, and you have to give in your best, and then you'll get the best out of it. So you have to be really alert, and especially if you're a woman, you don't have to worry that, oh, results, this, that. Just keep improving as a player. Think you're another guy. Think you're another man. And if is troubling you, and if not, then just ignore everything. And in fact, that should give you the fuel to do things even more. And when I'm on a poker table, trust me, everyone is so normal. Everyone is so nice. There's nothing, like, there's no banter of, like, that you're a female poker player, or you're this, you're that, or I mean, like, nobody does anything. Everyone's very supportive. In fact, like, they're scared because they're like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, she could bluff me. She could be like, like, she could actually have it there. But, like, it's so, like, it is so confusing when women are playing.
Does that help you? Does that help you, like, being a fact that they see you slightly differently? Does that, like, do you exploit the fact that they might not want to be bluffed by you, so they might be overcalling or something like that? Do you use that to your advantage?
No, now I'm learning. And now
Okay.
like, looking, and I keep asking other female poker players also that please teach me how, you keep that thing, that cool. And I'm just like, honestly, so I never use it to my I used to think that because I'm a female poker player, or like I'm a female who's sitting, like, you know, they're gonna like, you know, give me respect. They're gonna think she has it. But the opposite happens. They try to bluff you even more. So it's just so confusing. You can never really go by body language. So the best thing to do is, don't think it's a girl, boy. It's just, it should be a position for you. It should be the button or the small blind or the big blind for you. It should not be girl, boy, fish, pro, whatever. Like nothing. It should be like that is the position, and what your head is first step, and just like basically the study aspect.
Okay, your dog just passed by. That's a very cute dog. And also that brings me to your initiative that you started. You started a foundation for dogs. Tell us more about that. I have disconnected. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, you did for a bit.
Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, so I was talking about your dog and the fact that it's really cute. He's really cute. And why don't you tell us about your foundation for dogs that you started?
Maybe I haven't been with a poker side, even though I started off with Adda and everything. The whole thing is that I have been doing a lot of like social work. I've been trying my best to develop this project for dogs. And I started with the community, and it's just like basically, you know, independent people, young people who already know how to, they don't have staff and they don't have like, help everything, right? So they can really help each other, like basically, you know, bring up their. And I am like dogs, not many. I think a bulldog right now.
You're actually breaking. Yeah, yeah. I think now you're clear. Yeah, tell me. Sorry.
Did you see a big dog or a small dog?
I saw a big dog. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so that was Barney. Okay, so I have a Saint Bernard Barney. Then I have an English bulldog who is Elvis. He's the cutest. I have a Chihuahua. I have a German Shepherd, and I have a Pekingese who's like the cutest. He's the Pekingese Dolce. He's my lucky dog. So whenever like I want something or I really want to win a tournament, I actually have to go and tell him, and he'll like pretend to be like listen to you. And he works as a lucky charm, so he's like the love of my life also. And
that's amazing.
Like it's amazing. And yeah, and basically what I'm trying to do is the community that I formed on Facebook. My plan is to actually eventually turn it into an app, which I'm already working on, and it's going to be an iOS app right now that I'm working on. But I have holded the project because I want to make it like bigger, and I want to involve more and more like features in it.
Superb. So tell us, like, you always speak about, you know, social work and charity and stuff like that. What inspires you to, you know, be so charitable? Because not everyone feels the same way, to be honest. So why are you so giving, or like why is that whole you know, feeling of, you know, charity and social work and donation and stuff like that? Like, how does that like come to you?
So to be honest, actually, I've grown up. My mom is a social worker. She's dedicated her whole life in just social work. I've seen her just be so selfless, and I've grown up watching her, and I've grown up in her mentorship in a way, and I've seen her do such amazing things, and like, you know, selfless things for people, for say, she always had like that thing in her that I wanna make a difference. And I've seen that, and now that she's not there, and she also left an NGO in my name, Muskan NGO. So that NGO does like it takes care of old age homes, and it takes care of some orphanages, it takes care of some like medical camps and all of that. Also, it does like a lot of work, but I want to do more and more. Like, I wish I can grow it, and I wish I can really do justice to it, and I wish I can live up to my mom's expectations of what she had from me. And I think that if she was here right now, what would she want me to do? she would not want me to do, she would obviously want me to pursue something that I'm enjoying, that could be poker. And I mean, or painting or whatever I enjoy, right? And she would want me to be doing good for others, because in the end, that's something that really matters. I mean, I feel a lot, like, for my philosophy is that when you leave this earth, right? Like, you just leave with your karmas, you just leave with what you've done and your good deeds or bad deeds and your things or your consciousness, the person who you are and what you've become. And material stuff really doesn't matter. So even though poker is something so materialistic and it's so crazy, right? You really need to have that hunger to really, like, kill it and to be out there and all that. Like, either you're a genius or you have the hunger or you work hard, or there has to be one of these reasons always, right? So with me, the thing is that I look at it that in a way that if I can do it from that, like, if I want to do charity, I do need money, right? And how do I do it? So it's gonna be maybe poker or some other way that I do. So whatever ways, I mean, I'll keep going, and it's not just poker, but yeah, my eventual goal in life is charity, which I really, really wanna achieve. That's something I really want to do, and I'll be really happy, like, then okay, I've done my bit in life, and I've actually, like, done. I made my mom smile, and that's it. That's what matters.
That's really awesome. And that is I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's something that is so out there and so something that I can't relate to, honestly. But
Okay,
it's
one second. I just saw a comment saying that I want to get in touch with her and do something for dogs, right? Listen, you're a really nice person, and yes, I will get in touch with you, and yes, we will do something amazing for dogs in winters for
yeah,
sure. I'm
that
on.
is Yuvraj, and he will definitely get in touch with you, and he wants to do
Yuvraj.
so. That's awesome. And he want so yeah. I'll just read the comment out so that the other people know what we're talking about. He does try his best to help the stray dogs keep warm in the winters. So it's something that he does every year. So obviously he will get in touch with Muskan and do something else. So Yuvraj, kudos to you. Thank you so much for your comment. Moving on, I wanted to speak to you about your biggest challenges because yeah, you have worked a lot on your game and you have done a lot of studying in coaching and mental coaching. So what were the biggest hurdles for you to like actually turn pro and actually get like more and more success?
When I started off in poker, it was obviously, even though I ran deep in WSOP or I'd come on Shark Cage, but it was not really something that made me a pro. It was just that I was getting in the game, I was falling in love, and I was just getting involved and doing exciting things in it. So my biggest challenges were that because I didn't have any guidance and a plan, and I just started going with the flow, and I just started doing whatever comes my way, and not really, like, looking at it like the way other pros do. So that was really, like, something that, so I mean, from having no desires of winning anything to suddenly getting frustrated if I'm not winning, and getting very angry, and getting tilted and feeling bad and sad that why am I'm doing everything right, but why did that have to happen, or why did I have to get a bad beat, or why did this have to go wrong with me, or like, why did I win the tournament, or like, there was so much expectation suddenly from an amateur player to do well. And, like, that's something that was like a big challenge for me, something that had to be my growing phase, was like like a big pressure point for me. And I'm sure, like, good things happen when people are under pressure, and I want to look at it like that. And I've gone through, like, a lot emotionally also, because for, like, basically I was just, like, going through a lot. When you're playing poker, you're going through all sorts of emotions. And that's why I say that why bankroll management is important, or why anything else is important, because when I got these things in control, everything was in control. For example, when you're playing in your limits, even if you don't min cash or if you bust on the bubble, it does not matter, because you're playing within your means and you're mentally prepared to take that that sort of a chance, and you're like, say you get aces on the bubble and they get cracked. So I mean, you don't have to feel bad because you're anyway playing within your role, and you have to be prepared for anything, like in everything, right? Ups, lows, downs, highs, everything. You have to know like how it is done, and you have to be mentally strong. So these are the only few things that I struggled with, and now I realized that the only thing I can like do to get better and better is that if I can not repeat my mistakes. Like in poker, even when you go to your hand histories or when you sit down with your coaches and everything, one thing you don't realize is that you make the same mistakes again and again in poker. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. The other question that we received from Tanay in the chat was
once again, I just saw one. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I told you before, only I'm going to interrupt you all the time. What is this Spady winner Pawan Bansal doing on right now? Pawan, congratulations!
It's such an honor.
This guy is such a beast. He reached Vegas the first day only. He was in day 2. So like on day 1 of his trip, the day he was on day 2, this guy has insane focus. And I remember we played some tournament on Pokerbazi, and it was. So I think it was like we were gonna chop it, or I don't know, it was just like 4 people left, and before we could all make a decision, I busted. So, and then that time, Pawan came first or something, and then so we were talking around like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm like, so what are you gonna do now? He was finishing his tournament. Okay, so we were finishing this tournament, and then I'm like, what do you want to do now? He's like, I'm going for a run. I'm like, okay. Like, I had no idea that like, he's like, yeah, I need to, be like, I need to take care of my, self, and I need to go run. And it's important for my mind to get things out of my brain, and, I have to start my day, this, that. And I was just like, wow, dude, this guy. So like, he's basically one guy in the community who I know is doing all those things. Like mindset is, check. He takes care of himself, and then he studies, and then he shows results, and he's just amazing. He's just crazy. I mean, how does he do it?
Life in general, beasting everything, which is great. So I was coming to the question. So Tanay asked, "What is your like?" I know for a fact that you play a lot online, and you've done very well in Scoop and WCoop and a lot of other major online tournaments. So why don't you tell us what is your setup like, your grind desk? And also about your chair, because Tanay really likes your chair. So,
Tanay, hi, you like my chair? It's a normal chair. So basically, my thing is, I actually play on my laptop. I really don't play on my desktop and all anymore. When I used to put in a lot of volume is when I used to use this desktop, or I used to have lots of screens popping up. But to be honest, I've just been going through the stuff that I played around the Scoop, which was before the PSL, and I'm looking into those harnesses, or I'm just playing like really small stuff. And I've also been playing a lot on these Indian sites. So just like, say, I'm just like playing 1 or 2 tournaments where I'm really trying to just like, I'm right now just relaxing and taking it easy, not like putting too much volume or anything. But yeah, if you put in a lot of volume, then yeah, you can like get a desktop and get like more screen and space. It's just good for your eyes. I mean, that's the only thing. Otherwise, I usually always play on my laptop. Like
Tanay plays with like 7 screens, so that's why he's very interested in knowing what your setup is like. And so moving on, I want to speak to you. So I mean, we've discussed most of your progression in poker and how you've studied and how you and let's be honest, you've accomplished quite a bit till now. Obviously, you're still going to be working hard, and obviously the results will come. But I wanted to know what personally to you is like a goal. Like, what's your poker goal in terms of? Don't tell me you want to win the main event, because everybody wants to do that. But it's like like a short term, for the next 1 year or 2 years. What's your plan, and what do you want to achieve?
So yeah, like you said, right? Like, don't say the main event. So when every poker player starts, like they think, oh, I'm gonna win the main event, but I've come to my senses. I don't have that goal. I have very small goals. My first goal is to win a tournament, a live tournament, which is like actually win it and not get any bad beats and just like win it. And I really want to have that heads up experience, you know. I really want to have like a, like I hope whenever it is, whichever one it is, I hope it's a special one. And I'm gonna, that's why I'm like putting in all these hours of study, so that, I mean, I'm looking forward to some tournaments in Goa this end of this year. Let's see how that goes. And I'm gonna try and do WSOP next year. But other than that, like I'm just gonna go with the flow. Like, but one thing is sure, that I'm gonna be working with my coach. Like, we have like a lot of hours to go. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. We'll be going through a lot of things together, and that's about it. Like, I mean, honestly.
So yeah, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So yeah, I was saying, I mean, you've been to the WSOP so many times, and you also play a lot on Indian sites and Indian live tournaments as well. So tell us what's like the difference in sort of like experience, skill level, and what do you feel is lacking or is better in India? Just give us a comparison from your perspective.
I mean, because like the only thing is, I think in India we have to really wait for tournaments. I mean, abroad you can just like Google, and then the nearby casino there's some tournament or something happening. But other than that, like now the best thing that I like about the Indian poker scene is that everything is booming. The numbers are increasing, and I'm pretty sure like if it actually goes the way it's going, and if like I have a lot of faith in people who are working with the legalities and who are really working with the lawyers and who are like trying to make this game legal. I have faith in those people. I hope like they really do something for the game. And when that happens, I hope these numbers increase, and it's going to be so nice. It's going to be so amazing, and it'll be like, you know, some new person. Like, imagine if like that Chris Moneymaker effect happens in India, right? Like, it's going to be so amazing if some normal guy who's just started playing poker and he wins such a big thing. And in India, it actually can change your life. Like, and it's, or you can do so much. You can help others. You can help yourself. You can just like you can do a lot. And even abroad it does, but in India the numbers are big. So just imagine if we are able to pull in like good number of poker players, like the prize pools are going to be huge, and that would be life changing, and we can actually break the records of international prize pools as well. And that's something that I am looking forward to. I'm actually waiting that in 5 years, like everything changes, and what we think about how we look at Indian poker scene, like it just changes. That's what.
Definitely very hopeful about that. Why don't you tell us about who in poker have like, who's your favorite poker player? Who's your favorite, like, who's the most inspiring to you amongst all your poker friends? Don't be diplomatic.
No, no, I swear. Okay, so they all inspire me, and I like them all, and they all are my favorite poker players. I'm not going to take one name here.
If you had a gun pointed at your head, what name would you say first? Would it be Aditya Agarwal? Would it be Shashant? I mean, who would it be?
I'm going to think about this. I promise. I am going to, like, because when I think of this, when I think of the answer to this question, when you ask me who inspires you, who's my favorite poker player, I like something. There's something amazing about all of them. There's something inspiring about all of them, and you know that. Like, and only like, I mean, it's just impossible to have one favorite.
When you have a bad beat, who's the first person you message? Or when you have like a hand which you don't know if you were right or wrong, who's the first person you message?
Listen, Rishabh, what's your problem? Okay, but what if I tell you, like, there's a group? Okay. I sent and posted on that group.
Okay. No, so you not only are a very good poker player, you're also very diplomatic, which is great. You have a very very successful career in everything which is public. But lastly, what I wanted to ask you about was, what's your plan with the YouTube channel? Because you've made this awesome, V diary, and it's a great video. Are you gonna continue making the diaries? Are you gonna continue making vlogs? Do people look forward to anything that you are planning? What's up with that?
Yeah, I really want to do this. I enjoyed putting these videos together also. And yeah, you were right when you were saying that a lot of it was edited out. Like I have some really funny, amazing videos also now, but they just couldn't make it because I was trying to keep it a little short. And I know there's like so many flaws even right now. So like in the future, I'm going to work on those flaws and they won't be there in my videos. And I'm going to, like, I can't do like a very regular vlog because I'm not really playing that many tournaments live or anything. I'm going to be in India. I'm not going to be really like, doing much this month. But for sure, I have decided that I'm going to be my next topic. Like I've decided my next topic. It's a surprise, but like I will be doing this, say, every 15 days, 20 days. I'll try and make like a small video, and I have a few things in mind which I would love to show. And when I made this video, the best thing that happened was my girlfriend was like, okay, now we know that you like. This is what you do. You're like, so I'm like, dude, what did you think? Then I go, we thought you were having fun in Vegas, like enjoying partying, doing I don't know what all. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this is life. And they were like, looking at my mindset coach, my yoga coach, and then they saw my poker coach. They were like, this is the guy you talk to for hours on Skype. I'm like, yeah, like I'm with him on Skype. Like, I don't know. When I started off poker also. This is one thing that I feel so like, it's something so funny, but I'm sure like a lot of people will say that, yeah, we've done that also. So, for example, I'm like playing Hot 11 and I'm like running deep in it. And if it's my like really close friend's birthday party, yeah, and like she's like, you have to come this, that. Like I would go there, but like I would be playing on my phone or I would like just come back. Like, I would just, and then, the next day she's like, so yeah, I see you were like quite busy on your phone and or whatever. Like, what happened? Was there a big tournament? And then I told her like, she's like, you know what? Like I think like I've lost that friend. I swear, like, yeah, we don't even like party or meet anymore. It's just she was just like, please just for $11. And I'm like, how do I explain it to her that it's not just $11? It's just like a poker tournament that I got like leave it. Yeah, and Pawan Bansal. Firstly, like, congratulations, Pawan. He's amazing.
Pawan Bansal.
He won a tournament right now. Do you see? And he's saying you're the marathon runner. Pardon?
He's calling you an inspiration.
I have a feeling Pawan Bansal likes to troll me, and I want to say that I want to confront you, Pawan Bansal. Why are you trying to troll me all the time? Do you have like some problem? You want to like play heads up or something?
Heads up, let's do a live stream match. This is awesome, right?
Pawan Bansal, what's the problem? I'm saying you're a better poker player. Obviously, you're amazing, but I just have a feeling that he trolls me, and I have a video of him trolling me also, which I didn't put in my blog.
Yeah, before I forget, I want you to upload the video that you sent Pokerstars for Shark Cage, because that sounds like a hilarious video.
Pardon?
The video you made, the audition video you made for Shark Cage.
Yeah.
I want to see that video.
Okay, sure. Like I'm gonna send it to you. No, I'm gonna like it's on my YouTube channel, but I'd like disabled it. Like basically no one can see it, but I'm gonna make it like publicly viewed soon.
Superb. So I mean, we'll take any questions if somebody has any questions. Pradeep wants to know whether you've are you into reading poker books or is it just coaching and other stuff? So you want to answer that? I don't know if you heard me.
You're breaking.
Poker books.
Do you have any poker books? Yeah, I have a lot of poker books. And when I just started playing poker on Facebook, when I started, this friend of mine, shout out to you. Thank you for doing this. He sent me a card, like a big box of 35 poker. and he said that these books made me leave poker. I hope they do some good to you. Okay, and I was like, okay. And I opened it, and there are like 35 poker books, like from like I can't even tell you, like super system and this and that, like all sorts of poker books, yeah. And like I did try and read them initially, like when I went to Shark Cage also. I mean, I read those books and went, but now I just study. I just do hand histories, and I haven't. Jonathan Little, yeah, I read his poker books for sure, and I did buy one recently in Vegas also, I think.
Tanay wants to know if you watched the latest Game of Thrones episode because he feels like it's too much poker talk on a poker podcast.
Okay, so how do I tell him that I'm saving my Game of Thrones fun and I haven't watched Game of Thrones? So I'm that 1% of okay, I've seen like only the first season, and from second season on I'm like saving it, and like I promise you I'm gonna like one of these days lock myself and I'm just gonna like for like 2-3 days just finish off all the seasons, and I have everything ready. I don't have to wait like you guys. I can just watch it like, you know, in a flow, and I'm quite excited. And earlier also when I used to watch, like when like my friends are watching, and obviously it's so hard to resist, but I always just stay away from any news or any spoilers.
Yeah, even I like binge watching stuff. But any final words, any shout outs you want to give to any of your friends or family or other people?
This guy saying we should have a new card, Dragon of Diamonds.
So I was saying, if you want to give a shout out to anyone, go ahead. Obviously, you can speak about your foundation, your vlog, anything. Go for it.
Nothing. Not that I have anything on mind. What do you say? What do you want to say? This one is one second.
Vivek just came. It's disappointing that he just came, but life is tough. Life is tough. Vivek, you want to ask anything to Muskan before we leave? We are almost done for the episode, but if you have any questions, we can take it. I'll give you 5 minutes. Till then, Muskan will tell us about your favorite tournament that you play in the WSOP.
You know, surprisingly, I tried this new format this time. I played the mixed tournament, and it was so much fun. So it was like one round of PLO and then one round of Hold'em, and it was just so exciting. So every time, every time it was PLO, I was scared because I'm not that good at PLO, but I would win. Like if I win a hand, I was like, oh, that's so crazy. And then every time there were some players who didn't know Hold'em. They were just playing PLO. So it was just like a nice pool of people. It was just so exciting. I wish I had hand deep in that one. I was having a lot of fun. I made a big stack also, and then like I think I lost it in the Hold'em round. Can you imagine? I got a bad beat, and then
damn it. So do you play cash games as well, or are you like a complete tournament player only?
I'm actually a complete tournament player, but I do play cash games with just like very close friends. I play at Vedant Rani's place, like just friends. It's not really like for big money or anything. It's just for fun, for ego, for like, you know, respect points and all that we do. But I play OFC also with my friends, but all that is just, that's not serious stuff. So only tournaments is something I take seriously. And I just like, you know, that's when I like to, that's my specialty. I feel like I'm good at it. I tried all the formats when I got into poker. I did everything. I was like, okay, maybe there's something else. There's this. There were so many variants. It's so interesting to learn and so many new things. So yeah, I took this up.
And what's your favorite destination as far as poker is concerned?
I obviously number one is Vegas. Number two for me is Barcelona, and number three is I'm yet to find. And obviously I love Goa also. I really like Goa. I'm gonna look forward to the WPT that's happening in November. That's something I'm gonna go for sure. That'd be exciting. That'd be like so much fun. I hope they can manage it well, and I hope they were already saying they'll have 2-3 days of registration and everything. So I just hope everything goes smooth and it's a hit. And then, you know, next thing you know, WPT India is the biggest guarantee tournament they have.
Yeah, I hope that definitely happens. WPT coming to India is definitely very big for everyone and for poker in general in India. Vivek wants to ask you, what's your next international stop since he just came in, and where are you going to travel next for poker?
Pardon? One second, I'm very distracted by Pawan Bansal's comments. Why did you troll me up?
You can just ignore the chat and
You
take
know,
the
like I
question.
have a feeling that I don't know. I'm gonna like sort him out.
You paying attention to his comments is exactly what he would want if he is trolling you.
No,
But
I have a
anyway,
feeling. I have a feeling he doesn't take me seriously, and he makes fun of me behind my back. Like everything I say right now, or whatever I've said, or whenever I'm there, like he make fun of me, and like he's repeating it to maybe Vidwat or someone who's sitting next to him, and like, haha, she's saying this or that, and like that's what Pawan is doing right now.
I hope that's not what Pawan is doing. But if he is, there's nothing I can do about it. But I can ask you Vivek's question, which is where is your next poker stop? I think Europe is the next poker stop, or are you going to go up before that?
Yeah, no, I'm doing Goa before that, and then I have a like a Europe trip planned in December. So if I can, then I'm gonna try and look up some tournaments in UK that time, and I'll play something there. And then in I think March we guys have all, I think PSL is happening again in March. Like all that is gonna be happening, but I'm not really. Trust me, I have nothing planned. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to play online. I want to, relax. And I'm going to be playing on Indian sites. I haven't even played much on Stars lately. So I'm just relaxing.
So in terms of preference, like what is your preference? Do you like live tournaments better, or like do you like to grind online?
I love grinding online. I love grinding online, and that was the reason why I got into poker. And I thought it's gonna be that only. And obviously, live is also like a lot of fun. You get to see, like, basically, if you're like going to a new destination for the first time, and it's very exciting to travel, to like see new things, meet new people, and like all that is a lot of fun. But like when you go and all the way, like if you break or if you don't win, then it's just like a little heartbreaking when you come back. And
Superb, superb. I think we covered a lot of points, and it was a great podcast. Why don't you tell us any message that you have to give just again? What advice would you give them?
I would just say keep going, and I promise that's exactly what I'm also doing. I want to just keep going, working hard, and don't quit. Take a break, learn from your mistakes, and have a routine, make a plan, and also don't let poker take over your life. Like strike a balance and balance everything that matters to you. And when you do that, you'll eventually do well in anything you take up, be it poker or anything else in life. And that's it.
That's it. That was a great podcast. There was so much more to you that we learned today and we discovered, and I am super excited and super thankful the fact that you came onto the podcast and shared your views, your life, and your poker achievements with us. Thank you so much, Muskan, for coming on the podcast. I hope you continue playing. I hope you have more success online, in live, and in life in general. Uh, you are an inspiration to a lot of people. You are also representing, the women of Indian poker, which is fantastic, and repping us across the world. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thanks for having me. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow Muskan on YouTube, you can check the link in the description. Obviously, you can follow the Pokerstars page on Facebook, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit a like if you like this video, and thank you. We'll see you next time. Thank you.